how do you prefer, or now that you are where you are right now, Travis, do you prefer or do you miss the reaction of somebody being like, Travis? Who's Travis? Or just, wow, Travis. Okay. Like how do you walk into rooms with what you've done? Like, do you not
Yeah,
downplay it or
yeah. I'm mostly unaware of how people think and what it's strange because you get older and then the resume builds and you're still the same person and people are just like treating you differently. I do get that, but I'm unaware of it because I know what I have to do. You know, like I'm not I'm your cousin is crotchety. I am so
I know
I am
because my uncle.
like
Yeah.
here's a narrative that has been going around a lot, and this is an example. Um, w- the social structure has to do better to make room at the table for marginalized groups. Okay, I hear that, and I'm a knight. I am our grandfather's grandson. Excuse me, I want my own table. I'm not trying to be at your table, your funky table. Keep your table. I'm trying to
Right.
build my table. And that's a very difficult task to do, to build a table. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go somewhere fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. So right now, I'm literally building my team. Who are the people that I can work with? You know, who are they? And they're around. They're all over the place, sprinkled all over the place. And of course, they will not share your dream. They because that's not their job. That's your
Right.
job. If you have it, that's your job. Um, I'm thinking we were, and I'm not trying to uh, convert anybody. Certainly not. I just see value in certain texts. Um, there's and I'm not saying I'm Hindu. But I'm very inspired by this Hindu text called the Bhagavad Gita, and it's the story of a warrior who who's on a battlefield and he's about to engage in war, and he looks at the other side and he sees his teachers and his uncles and friends, and he says, I don't I don't want to. I don't want to fight. I don't want to fight. You know what? I don't want to fight. I'd rather go off into the woods and live the rest of my life alone. Quite frankly, because it's going to break my heart. Like, what is the point of winning if I have to win at the expense of essentially my family? Now, the whole story is about his charioteer, who is God or Krishna, who convinces the warrior, no, 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 no,
Do
you
it.
have to fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's the most riveting story I've ever heard. But I mention it because in it the ethic is this: um, we need to do our work selflessly without attachment to reward. Now, as a person born in 19, I was y'all, I was born in the
1900s.
1900s, 1900. As a person born in 1983 in this capitalist system, I hear this: do your work selflessly. What? Without attachment to reward? What? I got to get paid somehow. You know, it's like it's just it's as a spiritual uh, guide. It's very difficult to even understand. But if you start walking that way, to where no, 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 there's certain things that are in me to do and it's my responsibility to do, like you're doing it with this program. You don't know who this is going to reach. You don't know like
Right.
what's going to, and that's not your job to know, but it's in you and you're doing your job. Good. That's all you can do. You can sleep well tonight. You hear me? And so similarly, I'm trying to do the same thing, and meanwhile it's my responsibility to deal
Why
with
did you
the
heart
pain and
me?
suffering of actually doing my work, because it's not easy, and I'm trying to accept failure, because I'm not here to be perfect. I'm actually, I think I'm here to learn, and the learning curve is steep. And if I'm working with the right people, then those failures will be opportunities for a learning and a growth that I could have never anticipated, pretending like I knew everything from the jump. You know what I'm saying? I think you'll find, I'm seeing in this room, well, I don't know y'all, but I'm getting good vibes. That there's a goodwill here. There's a team for at least one of the projects that you have in mind, and so that's a very good thing that you have already. Last thing I'll say. Okay, here we go. I had the privilege, and I'm using that word very privilege, of being a dance juror on one of these granting programs, and I read 93 grants. Okay, you're right. If your grant is boring, good luck to you. I'm reading 93 of these things. Get out of here. If you can't write, get out of here. Because if you can't write, if you can't if you can't express your idea, then you can't express your idea. Excuse me. Now, there are certain people that can express their idea, but what they actually do, that's a whole other thing. But to be able to express your idea, extremely important. And even if you can express your idea, my heart was broken. There were, out of the 93, there were 25 that deserved all the money. We could only fund 15. So there's that too. It is a competition, but you got to play to win. And those are pretty darn good odds. And if you keep on playing, keep on refining, and with most of these grants, you can ask for feedback.
Yeah.
Hey, what, you know, not that the feedback is necessarily good, but it's something. It's something, you know? So yeah, and sorry, this is the last thing. Canada, we're so far, at least with this government, before it switches over to a different government, the funding is there. There is funding there. And you know, I've been around. There's far less in the United States, far less. There's a gigantic ton in Germany. It's bananas. I don't know why everybody's not an artist in Germany. But with what we do have, there's a lot that's possible. But I highly recommend that you orient yourself towards finding your team, building your team, the people that you want to play in the sandbox with, you know. I think that's everything, especially on those times when you feel like, oh, I'm going to drop the ball, or I can't listen. Let's be real. It's about to be January. Those times when you can't get out of bed, you need those people. You need those. Some of them will slap you around. Some of them will just give you a gentle kiss and or a hug, whatever you need. We need each other is what I'm saying. We need each other. Okay.
So when you started tapping, like what, in respects to community, what was the most positive affect that you have had in community with dancers?
Oh my gosh. So tap dancers, it's not the case now because I'm struggling, but with tap dancers, we're so nerdy. we're like, there's so few of us. We're so like, you a tap dancer? So instant, it's like instant family. So once upon a time, I used to live in Austin, Texas, worked for 3 years at Tapestry Dance Company with my now wife, Tenyjah. And when we left the company, we visited 10 countries, tap dancing and teaching and all the things. How did we do that? We have money? No. But we knew tap dancers in a bunch of countries. And so we just stayed on their couch. It's like we're instant. I don't know you from nothing. Instant family. It's great. It's a really great community when you're vibing on that specific level. Also, the most important thing in my life with these dancers were the elders who essentially became my mentors. It's extremely like the mentorship. Oh, yo, so there's this MC. I was about to call him a rapper. Excuse me. There's this MC that I really admire. His name is KRS-One.
Oh, yes.
He wrote this book called The Gospel of Hip Hop, and the pages are thin and the print is small. Okay, prolific dude. He says this about, you know, elders and young people. I'm gonna mess it up. I'm sorry. I gotta try though. You gotta try. Okay.
There you go.
He goes, if young people speak regularly to elders, they will move faster among young people because they just have that much more information. If elders speak regularly with young people, they will move faster among their peers because they're hip to what's happening. And when that balance is achieved, that's called culture. Boom. That's a KRS-One knowledge range. I know, Erica. Stop it. That dude kills me.
It is such a sweet spot, and I find, like, for me with this program as well, and just I'm addicted to talking to creative young people to be like, all right, give me all of the information. I need it, please.
Y'all have
and then
so many great ideas. Yeah.
Yeah. And then relaying what it was like when you were coming up, and then them seeing, I like the mutual respect of them seeing the struggles that you had to go through getting to where we're meeting right now, and then recognizing and also giving honor to their struggle process as well, because I find a lot of creators in my age bracket are just like, oh, they don't know what it is, and it's like, no, you don't know what it is either, because it's a different level, and you need to, I think, observe. Sometimes I think as an artist, struggle is necessary. I don't think that good art just comes from being happy forever and always. That's not a thing.
I shouldn't aspire
And
to
I
that.
find that, like, for this course and doing programs like this, it also helps me realize that my artist struggle, basically having community like this makes me feel like less of an imposter. I have like this imposter syndrome where I'm just like, oh, I'm doing the things, but am I doing the things? And then to hear information from people that even I look up to, that don't have to be my elders or just artists that I look up to, having similar struggles, it kind of like pushes me back into perspective and being like, okay, yes, you are doing the thing. And so I find also, again, with getting the education from school and all of these things, they struggle is talked about a thing that, like, you have to get through. But I think as an artist, it is something that I carry that informs how I speak to other people. And I feel like for me, dance is such a different language that I still can understand.
Sure.
And I don't think that in the circles that I travel around anyway, I'm always thinking about disaster. So I'm always like, if I lose my hearing actively right now, what am I going to do as an artist? Like, how is this going to work? And I'm never that disappointed or mépris about it, because of the fact that when I watch dance, I'm having a discussion with the person that I'm watching with. And so it never, for access to art, I think the show that you did for the with the lights, Travis, I forgot what it was called.
What lights? Which ones? I don't know.
Where you danced and there was vibrations and lights for
ephemeral artifacts.
That to me was, it was amazing, but also rejuvenating and exciting, because sometimes when I talk about art and when I talk about what I do, a lot of people who aren't artists think that if you're like a tap dancer, you're only a tap dancer, where it broadens the scope to be an artist, because I want to keep community and I want to keep having nuanced conversation. So I have to either research things that I'm not good at or that I don't know how to do, or learn how to do stuff that I don't know how to do. And I find that the way that your dance career has moved on has really, for me, informed my artistry type of thing, where people are used to seeing me do things, and now I'm doing drawing things and voice acting things. But it's just watching you do your thing has also given me the right vocabulary to tell people that, like, yeah, I'm an artist. I'm great. Yeah, I'm a great actor. I'm super confident, but I also do this, and I also do that, and I also do that. But it comes, just like all of the conversation that we've been having, it just comes full circle back to my concentration of storytelling. And
Yeah.
I just find like arts is just storytelling, and you tell such great stories
Yeah.
that like even sharing little segments of gets people's brains going to be like, oh, wait a minute, because they just, most people that I talk to have a very narrow understanding of artistic disciplines that we don't
Sure.
bleed into each other.
Huh.
And I find that when you're creating things, my experience is being baffled that, okay, I'm doing musical theater. I need like dancers, and to go in a theater space where they're not speaking to dance schools. Why? Why?
Yeah.
Like, what is the beef? I don't get it. Because if they can make your idea look great and you can just exchange ideas, why? What's the wall? Why are we not talking to each other?
Well, these young people are so much more hip. You know what I mean? They're like, like they're gonna change that, and we're already changing it. It's like, yeah, the walls. Oh, oops, the walls are coming down. I've had my finger crossed for a minute, and I shouldn't talk about this, but I think I need to, and I don't know how
No.
to in a way that makes sense. I think because you said something earlier that just got me. uh, I think school is very important. I think school is very important. But the question is this: uh, are you going to school to get a degree, or are you going to school to get an education? If you're
Okay.
going to school to get an excuse me. Oh no. If you go, please. If you're going to school to get an education, then 2023 is the most fertile time in human history to access information. Um, Also, a part of your education is the people that you meet. So, going to school is so great for meeting the people that, once again, you're going to work with for the rest of your life. Um, I think the that's all. That's all. Hi. That's all. That's all I want to say. School is very important. Yay.
Yeah.
School is very important. And I had my own rude awakening in going to school. I started in police tech, and then I moved to a radio broadcast, and
Yeah.
then I moved to uh, history, and then I finished off in theater workshop. So it was just, I think the act also of like finding yourself also makes
Super
sense.
important.
But for me, my indicator, my lighthouse was I started acting when I was 7, just because it was playing pretend in school, and we started in school. And then I started acting with my older sister Tia. And then
Mm,
like it just kept going.
mm,
But because of the education process, I think I was indoctrinated to thinking that like that type of fun and that type of engagement, that's outside. You cannot
mm,
bring that inside. It doesn't educate you. Where for me, yes, it does, because you're
mm.
hearing stories about people who aren't you, who've lived different lives and who have like different experiences and stuff. And so for when people that's the other thing that kind of still stands as a barrier for me is that I don't want to go back to school for creative stuff. I don't. And when I present a resume that doesn't have like a Juilliard or the equivalent to it or whatever, they're very much like, so how do you know you're good, or how do you do what you do? And I feel that around this time, 2023 for sure, is showing the value in community theater, community engagement, just doing things with your community and not just, okay, I have to go to school to pluck all of these like specific people to do the thing. It's just making, giving a value to community that I haven't seen till about now,
Yeah.
that I still want to keep flowering, keep adding into.
Mm,
And to the point of education, while I'm going through all of those changes in my own education process, I'm interested in the histories of the arts. So I stay in
huge.
school that long and learn about all of the history of things. And then my roadblock is like, how do I put this on paper? Because every time that I put it on paper, people are like, oh, you can't make up your mind. And I'm going like, no,
No.
because it's all interlinked.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So school is great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's up, Monica?
I was just gonna say we got about 10 minutes left. I just wanted to give you that little
Oh,
heads
okay.
up.
Yeah.
So if we want to do any more questions, now might be the time. But love this whole conversation. Just so much, so much. There's so many ideas that it's like, oh, and there's another session. Oh, and there's another session.
You're right. It's a whole thing. So I just want to add to what you just said in terms of the value of community art things. This last within the week, I saw the National Ballet's production of The Nutcracker. Okay, this is a easily multi-million-dollar production. Easily. Oh my goodness! Like you walk in and like, oh, that's money. Oh, money. So and it was. I got hooked up with seats and orchestra and so you look and I brought out the family. We looked at the pit and saw this huge orchestra and the conductor, and then the ballet dancers came out and the set and the costume and the lighting. Amazing. After the fact, because we can't afford that. But after the fact, my wife looked up the tickets, and it was the adult price was like $177, and the children's price was $165. So as a family with like taxes, like way above $700 to go see. Yes, for 4 people, way above $700 to go see the National Ballet version of the Nutcracker. And listen, it was wow. Now, last night we went to see the Nutcracker at the Brampton Rose Theater. It was like a much smaller ballet organ, purposely community. What they do is they make the show and then they tour it to different boroughs. And in those different boroughs, they use the kids from those boroughs in their production. And you could see the community vibe. But it was fun. And the story, excuse me if I may say, the story was much more understandable from ballet organ than it was from the National Ballet. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. And so afterwards, I said, hey, my kids are 6 and 7. I said, which did you like better? And they both said, better. Well, I like this one and that one. You understand? Like,
Yeah.
like money's great. Money's great. It's really lovely to have live music versus pressing play. All of the things. This set, the lighting. Oh, even the quality of the dancers, the excellence on stage with the National Ballet. Come on, and then from the excellence, you see like the exceptional. Come on, that is something that's valuable. However, the community vibe and there's also a difference in the I'm going to use this word, class of the people that saw the local production versus the National Ballet production. And even in terms of the dress, like you had to wear like a suit and tie to go see the ballet. And then, people dressing casually, with their flip-flops on. No, it's winter. Forget that. But I'm just saying, like, it was just, the vibe was different. And so it was a different show, even though the story was the same. And so, like, I just wanted to add that in terms of valuing one thing over the other. Community is extremely important. And those kids that got to be a part of the ballet organ production, that's life-changing. That's life-changing. Okay, that's all.
Yay.
Amazing. Yeah, let's do a round of applause. Thank you so much, both of you, for this awesome conversation.
Yes, let's do a round of applause.
Hey.
Yes.
I see you, Cooper.
Cooper has been very focused the whole time. Yes. I think. Yeah, we got about 3 minutes. Okay. So if anybody, including from our team, has some more questions, things like that, yeah, go for it, Erica.
Okay, how's my audio? Is it okay?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, great. Sorry, I know it was very glitchy. Travis and Tenyjah, thank you both so much for sharing. It really resonated for me, Travis, when you're sharing about not being intimidated by performing in front of a crowd because it was about connection. And that once you figured that out, you know, that it was easy. And so I just thought we're a room full of creatives, you know, and you also mentioned about doing this work for, you know, no reward, like just do your work and then see what happens.
Exactly.
So I was curious for anyone in the room if they can think of a time when they were creative and expressing themselves, drawing, performing, whatever that is for you. Is there a moment you can think about where you felt that connection happening? Because I'd love to hear about it. I do have a question for Travis too, if we have time after that, but I thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah, anybody have any thoughts?
Oh, can't hear you.
Oh. I was just asking if anybody had any thoughts. Anyone have any moments that they can think of? Maybe doing some musical theater or some artwork?
For me, doing musical theater, doing a straight play and then doing musical theater play are two different experiences for me. And so when I'm doing a straight play, I rarely look at the audience because I'm playing with other people. And with musical theater, you get those moments to look out into the audience and connect. Those are my favorite things because I have big eyes, so you can definitely, you know, I'm looking at you. So I like when I'm just in my character and I can connect immediately with somebody and they can't get out of it. So it's like, okay, what kind of dialogue are you going to have and how are we going to connect? Do I make you uncomfortable? So like at the beginning, act one, I'll look at somebody, they'll be like a little bit squirmy in their seats. And then by the end of the first act, I'm looking and they're just like more comfortable. And so I definitely like making those connections for musical theater. And it's also different when I am at a speaking part in a play than when I'm singing. The connection of singing for me is indescribable. Like when I'm sad, when I'm happy, I have to have music and I have to sing. There's to the point where I don't know that I'm singing until somebody tells me, yeah, we can hear you. Then I'm like, oh, okay, because it gets to the core of who I really am, I find. And so when I can connect with people, singing with people, the goosebumps, like that to me is my favorite part about building community, whether I'm on stage or whether I'm engaging with other people. Definitely, yeah. For me, my first connection actually was doing Romeo and Juliet. I think it was like 12. And it was my first elementary school play that my mom came to. And so like I remember looking into the audience, seeing my mom's face and seeing the expression of like, where did this kid come from? And being like, so now this is my thing. And having the conversation afterwards was just, oh, you really like doing that? Yes, I really, really do. So to be able to have somebody who also knew me, see me enjoying myself and registering like, oh, this is their thing now, to me is just, it's invaluable. And I think like now when I send my mom pictures, it's still like, this is your thing. Yeah, yes, it is.
That's so nice. Thank you. Anybody else have a memory of connecting through their art that just like stands out?
Yeah, like so the first time when I did musical theater, there was a solo thing, and then I was like, oh, I'd like to do a solo. I'd like to sing in front of everyone. And I chose a song, and when I got on stage, I was like, oh my gosh, like so many eyes looking at me. And I was like panicking at that moment. I'm like, oh, what do I do? And then like the only option was to like just start singing. And I remember my music theater teacher telling us, oh, like when there's an audience, just don't look in their eyes, just look above their head. Because once you look in their eyes, you get distracted and you feel like so much pressure is on you. So like they'll think you're looking at them, but like you're literally just like looking above their heads, which helps so much. And I really love musical theater, and I just think it's a cool thing. It's like really nice.
You're quickly becoming my favorite. Yes.
Thank you.
All of you are my favorite. Just so you know, everyone is my favorite. But that's fun. I feel like down the road we're gonna have to do some musical theater stuff eventually.
I think we might. We just might.
If when you work your craft enough to where you get more confident, I urge you to look them in the eye, because they came to see you for a reason, and they're when they sit down, they're kind of hoping for something, and you'd be surprised at how often they get it, especially when you look them in the eye. They feel seen, just like you want to feel seen and understood. I think all of us want to feel seen and understood. And so for an audience member to have to be, oh, the performer is looking at me, it's like it really it helps people is what I'm saying. But only I when you feel comfortable. Don't get distracted and forget the words and what the note what. But only when you
What helps for that, how I started doing that, is at the end for the bows. If you just pick somebody and you're like, their face is just like, oh my God. So even if you can't do it while you're performing, the easy way for me, the easy track for it, was to just, once the play is over, the mask is shed, and then you're just like, hi, and then they make that connection. And I will say, promise, guarantee, once you get that, it's addictive. You're gonna want to keep doing it. Yeah.
Or you can practice with your mom first. Like,
Yeah.
your mom, like, look her in the eye. I'm sure she'll cry at every one of your performances.
Oh my gosh.
That's what my mom does. I don't know.
Yeah.
Mom, they just like weep about what you're doing. So that's a great boost to the ego if you need it.
It is. It helps
Yeah,
confidence.
thank you.
Okay, we're at 7:35, so we're 5 minutes over. Thanks, folks, for staying. But is there any other last things before we kind of wrap up and talk about the next session as well? Does anyone else have any other burning questions or?
I just want to like express gratitude, absolute pleasure. I had like no expectation. I'm like, oh, this is lovely. This, it didn't get as heavy as like it was possible to get.
It could have, because of our conversations.
Yeah, very good. Very good.
Yeah.
No, much appreciation. Thank you very much for having me.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Travis and Tenyjah, for this session, for letting us all witness your artistry and your family stuff as well. Being cousins, what a joy. That's perfect. So we'll wrap up here, but our next session that we have scheduled, that I think everyone's registered for, is going to be in February. So in the new year, we're going to be celebrating Black Futures Month, and we're going to be we have a guest, Peaches and Screams, who is a local drag artist, a Black and Indigenous drag artist, and we're so excited to have them then. So if you have any friends that you want, we still have some spots that you'll get those free snack money. So tell your friends to register, because they can register for those next ones. But yeah, have I missed anything, team of
Yo, Taylor, do you have any of your sketches around?
Yeah, show us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a painting that I will grab off my wall.
Oh, get out of town.
So sweet.
We're so lucky.
I have this one.
We love.
Ooh.
It is a pigeon mixed with a giraffe and a turtle and a rabbit and a dragon.
Nice. I like the pink. I like the pink and the blue. The
Very cool.
kind of mosaic blue on the turtle.
Yes.
Love it.
I want to make this into a puppet. Like, that
That'd
would
be
be such a
awesome.
good puppet in one of our
It would be quite difficult.
for young audience plays. What do you call it? What's the creation of the mix?
I don't have a name for it.
Okay.
Not
Well,
yet.
We can think on it.
That's
Thanks for showing
I
us.
painted.
Thanks,
I
Travis.
painted. You can't see it. I painted Mars in the background. I'm like focused on this one thing, and then there's this like tree. Oh, I don't know how to paint, by the way, but there's, that don't stop me. But there's this like tree in my backyard, and it had all red leaves. So I was like, I waited until fall, and the leaves started dropping. Pop, 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 pop. I stuck them to the. Okay, that's all.
Nice.
I just I really enjoy painting. That's cool. All
You're
the
an
mixes.
artist or something, Travis?
Huh?
An artist?
What? Well, I don't even know. I don't even know.
Poetic, waited for the seasons to change and
But it was like maniacal. I mean, the time.
Paul.
Super cool.
Amazing.
And the touch of the dragon. Super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool. Love it.
Love that. Oh my gosh, we gotta show everyone.
Project.
It was a
Say
web
again?
project.
It was a school project. I had to pick a painting style,
Yeah.
and my teacher had already given me the assignment to create a creature of some sort with a bunch of animals mixed into. So instead of spending months figuring out a new creature, I just designed it into a painting.
Nice.
Love it. Amazing. Awesome. Okay, I think we're at time now. Thank you so much, everybody, and we will see you in February, if not sooner.
January.
Some of you we might see before that in January, perhaps. Oh, Catherine, did you have something? Oh, never mind.
So you just keep an eye out because now I'm interested in this Mars
Yes.
project.
Yo.
We gotta go as a group. I want to be in the jumpy.
Yeah.
In the jumpers.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I hope you like it.
Yes, I can't wait. I can't wait. I just want to thank everyone as well. And for the youth, yes, our next event is in February, but please do reach out if there's anything we can support. Travis is talking about the importance of mentorship, and that is really
Huge.
what we are doing here at Story Theater. So we're here for you, and yeah, let us know. Let us know how we can support you, and come see your shows and check out your paintings and all of that. So let us know if there's anything we can do for you.
Yeah.
I'm a really good cheerer in the audience. Just so you know.
Yes.
Yo.
Whatever kind of audience you want, I can do.
Monica got it.
That's a free ticket.
I called Linda and was like, Linda! there was kids around me, like really young kids, and I scared them because I was screaming, Linda!
It was great. I loved it.
Okay, everyone, have a good night, and we'll talk to you all really soon. Thank you so much.
Talk later, Travis.
Thank you all for
'cause
doing
I
your work.
vlogged
Travis.
your important
you.
thing. So I'm going to poke you later.